let's see how this is going to work. Should be okay. Sitting in the truck, got the windows down. It's 75 degrees. There's a slight breeze. Just got done eating lunch. Put my grill up, put my food up, walking around the truck. Heard a loud bang, about to poop my drawers. Turned around and something happened behind another truck over there, and I went and looked, couldn't see what it was, but it's kind of interesting. Wasn't expecting it, especially in the middle of a lot, because you just hear a loud bang and a bunch of dust, and you're like, okay, I'm still breathing. But let's get to some of the thoughts and some of the things going on that a lot of people might have missed the past week, and we keep doing this because I get a lot of good feedback on it. Matter of fact, I actually get a lot of good intel that I go and I look up. People send me messages. I got a phone call the other day asking if I knew that the World Trade Organization chief retired or resigned. And I'm like, no, but I did hear about Richard Barr stepping aside as the Intel chairman, which happens to be a Republican, because he's under slight investigation, or they're doing a probe into him for, insider trading. On another note, Senator Dianne Feinstein was asked about it. Her response was, I don't have anything to do with my husband's trading deals going on. And we're going to take those off because the glare is driving me crazy on it, even though it's a little bright for me, but so let's talk about Oklahoma numbers for this week as of today, which is Monday. Was it the 18th? 5/18, May 18th, 2020. Total cases, that means total recovered deaths and all. Total cases was 5,398, 288 deaths. And we have 4,008 recovered, which leaves a total of 1,102 active cases. When they started opening the state up, it come up a little bit. It's continually declining now. So, my thought with that, and I've talked to some other people that are other truck drivers, and we're not saying nothing's going on or people aren't getting sick and people are dying from something going on out there. But our conversation consisted of, if what they're preaching on the MSMs are so contagious and so bad, why aren't the truck drivers ate up with it? Homeless people. I mean, these are people can't quarantine, can't go home 14 days. Homeless people back and forth walking around. You can't get, they're not all off the streets. Before we go any further, let me apologize. My allergies are whooping my butt today. We had Thursday, Friday, we had rain. Saturday was rain. It was all like 50, 60 degrees. Great cool weather. Yesterday bumped up to 70 and sunny. Today 70 and sunny. And of course, I'm going to pay for it. No, I take allergy pills, but I don't take them every day. I just take them when I need it. And it's still kicking my butt. So let's go with that. So we got Richard Barr stepped aside. Global Trade Review. Okay. Richard Burr. Sorry, not Barr. Burr. B-U-R-R. That's all over the news. You can get that Fox, CNN, MSNBC, Wall Street, anything. Where we got the World Trade Organization chief resigns, Roberto Azevedo, Brazilian politician. That come from the Global Trade Review, is where we got that deal from. It's a global resource for the World Trade Organization, because it has to do with, pardon me, like our stock market, Japan stock market. It's trading all over this stuff. And the interesting thing about that, when you get into reading it and researching it, Trump stopped our appointments last November, December to that organization. So they can't even pick a new chief. So everything that goes on in there is kind of stumped on the water at the moment. I will take that as a good thing at the moment. Take it how you want. Do your own research on that. Another thing that people are blowing up right now is Trump announced Operation Warp Speed. What that has to do with it has to do with the vaccination, and he said that they are actively activating the military to distribute it because getting that out is a job. Read into it once you want. Is he feeding the monkeys? Is he being serious? If you ask him about it being mandatory every time, that's not even on the conversation. We're not even going to talk about it. Along with the whole vaccine thing, let's get into the Senate hearing that went on with Dr. Fauci, I believe, a couple other people that are on the coronavirus task force. There's 3 doctors and somebody else. And they were all asked if they were getting paid and if they were quarantining because they had been in contact with somebody in the White House that had tested positive. Their answers were, you can go back and listen to this, it's public record. Well, we're doing the best we can, but I have offices in the NHI, Dr. Fauci has an office at the WHO. If I have to have a face-to-face meeting, I'm going to go have that meeting. I'm not going to stay locked up for 14 days. Kind of set me off because, you want everybody else out here to lock up for 14 days, but if you have to have a face-to-face meeting, that's okay. Is that a better than thou attitude? Then they sit there and said, okay, what about the vaccination? Let's talk about that. His response to that was, if and when we have a vaccination, I can't guarantee it's going to work. Look at the flu vaccine. We have one every year. Does that mean it works? So why are they pushing something that they can't guarantee that's going to work? It's not like the polio or smallpox and other things that were eradicated in this country. And we'll get to that a little bit because I had a conversation earlier today with somebody and I never thought of it until they brought it up. And, it may make some people mad and it may not, but it's just food for thought. And everybody's got to remember, it's just conversations that I have with people. We get into it. We don't fight. We just get in depth conversations, and everything I put out on these videos are my opinion and my opinion only. They're not endorsed or sponsored or anything by anybody. Interesting news on the next step to that would be the House passed a $3 trillion stimulus bill is what they're calling it. All right. There's nothing in it if you're get up and go to work. Oh, you got to stay home. Nothing in it for you. Okay, things that they did pass in it. Oh, let's open up the banking account so medical marijuana or cannabis can be used to, let's do something with that to where they can get bank funds and don't have to be privately funded. Okay, mandatory mail-in voting. What's that have to do with stimulus? What's that have to do with corona? Mandatory. They want to start the federalization process of the voting. Bad. Okay, here's another one. Blue state donors get tax breaks. Yeah, that sounds like it's for a sickness bill, don't it? There's a whole bunch of other stuff in there. That's just the highlights that I could find real easy on that bill. Bad stuff. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. If you go in and watch a deal with Fox Business where Trump talks about Operation Warp Speed, there's about a 5 or 6 minute video there. They bring it up and he's like, oh, we've talked to Pelosi and it's dead on, and I'm not signing it. There's another Louisiana senator that says, no, we've spent $3 trillion. Let's see how that goes. You want to stimulate the economy, people? I can tell you how to do that. Start looking at labels, everything that says made in America, not assembled in America, but made in America. Grow your own food. Learn how to hunt, fish, trap. Be honest, I sit there and bought a Ford a couple years ago and never thought I'd sit there and buy one of those till I got to looking at stuff, and they were the only car company that didn't owe the government money. Had a Kubota tractor, a little bit more expensive, orange, made in America. Got stolen in the process of getting that fixed. What else? Oh yeah, besides, when you buy a agriculture product that's actually made in the state, you can save yourself 6%. Call it tariff, excise tax, whatever they want to call it. A lot of people don't understand that. Oh yeah, back to the whole sickness thing, what's going on here, and the Senate hearing. Very, very interesting stuff, because you go back In the Senate hearing, Fauci said, "Oh, I don't want to call it a mask. Let's call it a face covering." Why do we want to call it a face covering? Boy, could I go off around with there. All I can say is, American women that didn't want your face covered because you didn't believe in it, they just got you to cover your face. Think about it. Even though the same doctor that says you need to wear that face mask, face covering on 60 Minutes the same week admitted no need in wearing a mask. Don't have to. Me wearing a mask as a sick person to protect you as a healthy person. Or in surgery, it protects what I'm breathing out to get in your wounds that I'm cutting open. That's what it's for. So why is a bunch of healthy people wearing a mask? MSM told you to. That's why. Another thing you need to think about, how many liberties are you willing to forfeit to have the feeling of safety? Because if you give up your liberties for temporary security, you'll have neither and you deserve neither. It's been really, really weird, and there's a whole bunch more information we go in on that. But let's get back to these vaccines that were going on with polio, smallpox, Spanish flu, I think was one, measles, mumps. That was all stuff that here in the United States had been eradicated, done away with. It's actually gotten to the point to where they weren't even giving some of these vaccines out anymore. That's how eradicated it was in this country. And then all of a sudden you see, we're seeing this pop up here, and we're seeing this pop up here, and we're seeing it pop up over here. And these are, and go through news clips, you can find it. We got smallpox pop up. We got this pop up. We got this pop up. Okay. Now let's just think about this for a moment. If a bunch of people from the rest of the world comes in via legally, illegally, whatever it is, and they don't have their vaccination, and they carrying it because they had it, means they can still, it's like mono. If you have mono, when you get it, you always have it. You never get rid of it. Okay, some of these other stuff's like that. So does that mean that I can cause somebody else to get it? Well, not with mono, no. With smallpox, yes, and some other stuff, yes. So he just brought somebody over here that was infected with it, and now we're seeing hot spots. And if you look at where the hot spots was, it's where a bunch of people were relocated. For what reason? I don't know. Yeah, you'll see my eyes dancing around the camera. It's not because I can't look at you. It's one, because I get a reflection off the mirror over there. Two, I have a light sensitivity, especially with the allergies going on. And three, if I see something move, I look that direction. It's habit. I've done it 20 years of my life, and there's people that could probably comment that says I've probably done it longer than that, or I don't do it as bad as I used to. Another thing that went on is we did some more videos for the regular farming stuff. We post them towards the end of the week. That way it gets us done. And I'm going to sit there and say this on this video too, is we appreciate everybody that watches. We love you guys. If some of the videos seem a little screwed up, the only one that really gets done on a regular live feed or live right to YouTube is this one. Because I do it in the truck. The farm ones could be a week old, 2 weeks old, 3 weeks old. Something that we're coming up with. Updates on stuff. And boy, our garden got a little bit of an update. Because I had a little bit of an education there. It was first time starting everything from seeds. We'll get into that, and that'll be a Pacific video here shortly on where we whoopsied, what we did to correct it. We just want to make sure that it works right, because if we can get it to work, anybody can get it to work. But other than that, we appreciate y'all hanging out and spending time with us and watching videos. Please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell. All them, every time something like that happens, it helps the algorithms out, speeds up the deals. We're up to 44 subs now, which is great for a month. I pay attention to a guy that's got 87,000 subs, and we're in the same part of the country. I would like to get there one of these days. I know it takes time. Again, we love you guys. Thanks for watching it. Like, share, subscribe, hit the bell. If you got any questions, put them in the comments. We do respond to them. If you got anything else, you can sit there and I think we've got an email in there. If not, let me know. We're slowly growing and going with this. Appreciate it. Y'all have a great day. Stay vigilant. Be safe.